Hi, and welcome back to chapter 4 of Stories from Another Universe featuring a story of missed opportunities. Okay, let's see what we're in chapter 4 now, yeah? Alright, try and watch this within the playlist, yeah? It would be very helpful so that you get to know chapters 1, 2, 3 up to now. Steve confronts Michelle. Steve was driving Michelle back to her dorm, and as he backed his car out of the school, his colleague, Professor Richards, noticed he was with a student. He asked Steve to roll down his car window. "Who is this young girl you have with you?" Richards asked. Steve felt as if he had been caught and felt doomed there and then. Yet in spite of his true feelings of shame, anger and sadness, he managed to provide a good cover story by telling the truth. "Michelle here is my mother's old classmate's daughter. Anne, her mother asked me to take her home, seeing that Anne is quite busy now." "Oh well then, safe journey, you two. Chat to you later, Steve. I've got a few things to discuss with you tomorrow on a proposed second-year course I'm planning for the summer semester, and I need to get your feedback on the matter." "Sure," Steve replied. "See you at 10 as usual at the library cafeteria." "Yep, sounds good. Catch you all later," Richard said as he lifted his hand from the top of Steve's window. With a sigh of relief, Steve wound his window back up and backed out of the university car park. As much as Michelle was oblivious to what had happened, she asked, "Why did you tell Professor Richards that you were doing my mom a favor?" All Steve could say was that professors usually don't help their students in private, one-on-one. "It's simply not ethical. I had to come up with some reason for bringing you back to my place without causing a rumor which may lead to a scandal." "Oh," was all the young girl could say in return. As the car passed the university suburbia, then the traffic lights leading onto the highway, Michelle let her mind drift away. It drifted so much, Steve asked, "Hey, pretty face, what's on your mind?" Once Michelle heard Steve call her by her pet name, it jolted her from her daydreaming. "What's on your mind?" Steve asked her. What harm is it to talk about Dave to Steve? Except for the fact that he might get a bad grade, she thought, laughing to herself. "Oh, it's just Dave. I had an argument with him over the assignments. You know, those hard ones you and Professor Richards always give at the end of class." "Oh, those. Was it that Dave couldn't do his share and yours at the same time?" Steve asked with a wink. He surprised himself how he was able to be cool and joke around with Michelle. Somehow he realized that his obsession over Michelle could be the nostalgia of this precise moment. He missed not joking around with his little pretty-faced girl. "I resent that, Steve-o." The two were more and more becoming like brother and sister than like lecturer and student. It made it so much easier for Steve to communicate with Michelle when she was no longer his fantasy and became once again his little pet. "Why do you resent that, pretty face?" he asked. "I resent being called pretty face," Michelle responded. "What's the pretty part on this ugly face?" Little did Michelle know that Steve stopped his car in front of the house by this time. He was out before Michelle spoke about her ugly face. Thinking he hadn't heard the question, she was surprised beyond belief when Steve opened her side of the car and knelt in front of her. He told Michelle once and for all how he really felt. "I'll tell you honestly, pretty face, why your face is so pretty. Before you were an angel to look at, when you were growing up. I saw you at times when you weren't so pretty, like when you splattered your face with chocolate sauce," he said, caressing Michelle's gentle face, "and the time you chewed more than you could swallow. But seeing you now, I've come to realize how much I am in love with you. I just love the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you lazily gaze at me in class, and the way you complain about too much work." Laughing to himself, he continued, "I love you in every sort of way, but I know that as your teacher, I can have a relationship with you. I would love to, and I was wondering if, for just this one night, we could hold each other as true lovers here at my place." Michelle could have fainted hearing all of this, but she kept her composure as a pretty girl always does. "It's flattering, Steve, but stop pulling my leg." Once she saw how serious he was, she had two thoughts. Should she live out her fantasy for one night, especially a night when her heart and soul was willing to punish Dave? Or should she just go for it, seeing this chance might never come again? She did not need to think for long, as Anne, her mother, was waiting for her at the front door. We do not know whether she saw what transpired between Steve and Michelle moments ago, but Steve was utterly embarrassed by her sudden appearance behind him. He was confused too. He hadn't seen her there when he arrived. "Hi, Aunt Anne. I didn't see you coming." "Steve, I just came from around the corner. I parked at the back of your house. Come along, Michelle. I gotta get you home." Michelle asked her mother how she knew she was at Steve's house. "Oh, that kind Professor Richards met me at the supermarket and told me that I would find you at Steve's house. He also said he wants to speak to you, Steve, tomorrow about some project." "I don't know." "Well, let's not waste poor Steve-O's time and get going. Say my regards to your mum, Steve." "Hey, Steve-O, see you tomorrow, okay?" Michelle said. "No worries. We'll catch up sometime soon." That just about ripped Steve's heart out. There he exposed his heart to the whole world, for the whole world to see, while Michelle thought little of it as she was whisked away by her mother. Did Anne actually see or hear what happened? He wondered. Why did she seem in such a hurry to take Michelle away? What about the assignment and his help he was going to give Michelle? All these were thoughts. Nothing happened that night, but at least Michelle knew about Steve's feelings for her. As Steve was in hell that night obsessing over his exposure, Michelle was in seventh heaven, beginning to forget about Dave and that nasty statement, but about her love for Steve. Will Steve be able to wait for Michelle and hold on to his love for her? Or will Michelle be too late and tonight be in heaven, but tomorrow in hell? Stay tuned for the next reading, and thank you for listening.